natural. Curls are very fluffy. It's just giving what it needs to give. And the lace is doing what it's supposed to do. Hey y'all, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Akivia for those of you who don't know. And today we're back with another wig install. And today we're working with Yolissa. So let's go ahead and get into it. We are working with a 26-inch water wave 13x4 frontal 250% density. We have our HD cap, we have our scarf, we have a scrunchie, we have an edge brush, we have a nail band, and then you also have your bag to store your hair away later if you need to. So now let's go ahead and get into the wig. As you can see, this is what we're working with. It looks like it's already pre-plucked, pre-parted, pre-bleached. And this is how long the wig is. So again, guys, this is 250% density, 250% density, 26-inch. 13x4 full frontal, pre-bleached, pre-plucked, pre-parted. It's all ready to go, so I don't have to do any type of customization to this wig. So again, we're going to be using our Ruby Kisses shade 15. I used the same shade on my cap. And then I'm just going to take that and apply it on the back of my lace all over. And you want to make sure you get it in really good so that the color shows up very, very vibrant. So if you don't put enough makeup, sometimes it, won't look right. So always make sure you put enough, but don't put too much, okay? Because you don't want it to be cakey. So now we're going to go ahead and put that wig on. I did adjust the bands and the straps on the wig and inside it to make sure that I had a very snug fit because I do have a small head. Forehead, not so small, but you get it. But yes, y'all, this is how the wig looks. So you want to make sure that everything fits perfectly before you start your application with the glue, because if it doesn't fit right, then yeah, you may have to like cut some of the cap off and all of that. So this step is very important. So now this is just a different view so you can see exactly how the wig looks, how long it is, and all of that. So let's go ahead and get into the actual application. So you just gonna fold your top back, fold your top back, clean your forehead with some alcohol or sea breeze, okay? Make sure that you wipe all of that makeup off because it will not stick if you are putting glue on top of makeup, and it will be very cakey and your install just won't last. Make sure that alcohol dries before you apply anything else. Next, we're going to apply some skin protector before we apply our glue. And then you want to make sure that dries as well before you go ahead and start putting on your glue. Then we're going to use our super laid adhesive to lay this wig today. And I did do 4 layers. So you all know that my technique that I like to do, if you watch my last few videos, I showed you this technique. So I do one side at a time, but it is just 1 layer. So we're going to do this side first, okay? And you want to make sure that you really, really, really spread that all the way out because you don't want it to dry clumpy. And yeah, because it will show through the lace. You have to remember, whether you have thin lace or thick lace, however you spread your glue out, it'll show just like that. So you really want to make sure that it's spread out completely so that it dries the way that it's supposed to dry, which is clear. Then I'm going to go on and do my next side and apply the glue and spread that out. Now, mind you, this is still our very first layer. Now, if you're asking why am I doing it this way, it's because if you're noticing, the other side is pretty much already clear. So this just makes my application process a lot easier because I don't have to really wait in between layers to apply my glue and wait for the glue to dry. I can just go ahead and move on to that next side. And as you can see, the other side is already dry. So when I get done spreading this side out, once I get ready to go to the next side, it'll already be dry for me to go ahead and do the next side, just like you see here. So that is how I pretty much apply my layers. I guess I'm going to have to keep explaining this every video because, you never know, I may have a new viewer and someone new that is watching. So I'm sorry if you already seen this technique. A lot of times they have to hear me explain it over and over, but I love this method. I think it's really, really cool. And of course, once you're on your last layer, you're going to have to wait a little bit for everything to dry. Once it is completely clear, then we're going to proceed to put our wig into the glue, okay? And so I always start off by bringing my middle into the glue first, and then I work one side in, and then I just kindly go over to the next side. And then you want to take your comb and just really comb that into the glue. On the sides, I really like to use the back end of my comb and just really push that in all the way, okay? Because we all know the sides are kind of stubborn and they are what comes up the most, or what comes up first for most people. Not me though, because I just do such a great job. So yeah, just gonna do the same thing on the other side, and you just want to make sure all of your hairs are back and out of the way so you won't have to have this problem. And you're just gonna comb that in and make sure that it's all in really, really good. Once you've done that, you want to take your blow dryer on medium heat and just blow dry that in with the comb. The same way we were just combing it into the glue, you're just going to do those same exact movements, but this time you're blow drying it in, okay? So you want to really make sure that it's getting melted in and that it's going to stay stuck, okay? So once you get done blow drying for about like a minute, 60 seconds or whatever, then we're going to put on our band. This time, you guys, I'm not doing a double band. I just don't feel like that today. So I'm only going to use the one melt band today. You guys know that I usually use 2 bands, but I didn't use any spray when I put the band on. I just literally put the band on immediately after and just let it kind of sit up there for like 5 to 10 minutes for that first melt. Now we're going to get ready to cut our lace. So you can see I cut on one side and the other side. So we have 3 sections that we have to cut off. So you can either do this with a razor or you can do it with scissors. Whenever I do it with scissors, I do like to use the small baby scissors because it's just a lot easier to navigate them and go in a zigzag or jagged motion. So whatever you choose to use, whatever tool that you choose to use to cut your lace off, make sure you're going in a zigzag or jagged motion. You don't want to cut your lace off in a straight line because it will look crazy and you will be able to see. It's supposed to look natural. You're not supposed to be able to, like fully detect the lace, which we know it is a lace. We know it is a material. So, sometimes you may see a little lace here and there. But to prevent that, do not cut straight across. Now, what you see me doing now is some of the lace, all of the lace did not get glued down. So in those areas, I've just put a dot of glue on my hand and I'm taking the end of my comb and just going in and filling those areas in. Now you can do this about 3 to 4 times, like however many layers that you did, and just fill those areas in. Me personally, I like when I have to do this because what I don't want is to have glue outside of my lace. I'd rather have to go back in and fill in areas that didn't get glued down rather than have glue outside of my lace. Because like I say all the time, when you go to tie your hair up at night and things like that, you don't want your lace to be getting stuck to stuff and then it's just going to be looking crazy over the install, over the few days that you have it. So this is just a very, very neat way to make sure everything is good and you have full control, okay? So that is why I like this method. And then after I pretty much get done filling in those areas, I just go through and press it into the glue, and that's it. And then once we do that, you're going to just cut those ear tabs off. So that is just the extra lace that's like hanging over your ear that you don't need. You just cut that off. And as you see that I'm doing right here, you just pretty much like outline your ear. And, feel for your ear and make sure that that's where everything is and your ear is. And you just cut that off and just pretty much trace the part that you parted out. And yeah, that's all you really have to do. So once you do that, now we're going to go in again with our blow dryer now that we've cut the lace off and added that extra glue in, because we want to really make sure that it's all melted, especially now that we added that extra glue. So you're going to blow dry it again on medium heat for about 60 seconds again. So once we get done blow drying that in, now you're going to take out the corners of your frontal, like the end baby hairs, I guess I could call it, and you're going to part those out. Now these sections can be for your baby hairs, or you can just part them out, because this is just how I like to tie down my first melt. And then once I have those parted out, I just go in with some bedhead spray, or you can use whatever type of freeze spray or melting spray that you have, whether that is spritz or got to be spray or even whatever it is that you use. And I like to go in and brush all my hair to the back and then brush those sides down, because this just secures everything and makes everything look super, super neat and give like that melted look before we even do our actual first real melt with the melting spray. So once I have everything pretty much brushed down using that spray like that, and as you can see, I'm kind of going back in and like perfecting my part, because I am going to use these pieces for my actual baby hair. So I'm not just parting out any pieces of hair. These are actually going to be my side, my end baby hairs on the end. So once you do that, I'm using my Dolly hair melting spray, and I like to just spray it on my finger and tap that in all across the lace, just like that. If you know how to spray it onto your lace directly, cool. But make sure you're tapping it in while you're doing it if you do it that way. Once you put that melted spray on your lace, blow dry it in and tap it. You want to make sure that it's completely dry before you put your band on, because if you put a band on top of the melting spray while it is still wet, when you take that band off, girl, it's going to look crazy. It's going to be residue everywhere. It's going to be coming up with the band. And then you're going to be mad because your whole install is going to be messed up. So make sure it's dry, and then you're going to put your band on. Melt it. You can sit on the dryer for about 15 minutes and then take it off. So this is what we're pretty much working with after we do all of that. And now I'm sitting here trying to decide what style I really want to do. So I was like, you know what? I am always doing a side part and a middle part, and I'm really tired of doing that. And I know that y'all are probably tired of seeing it. I don't want to bore you guys, coming to my page and doing the same thing over and over and over and again, even though I'm dealing with different wigs. But if you're going to be watching these videos, I want to give you different options to see. So we're going to do a half up, half down. Nothing too crazy, okay? Just something very, very simple but cute. And I am a perfectionist, so yeah. But right now I'm just parting out where I want my part to be, and I'm going to clip that. I'm going to take my Care wax stick and just put that all over the hair before I get ready to hot comb it down. And then that's exactly what I'm going to do immediately after. Is just hot comb everything down. And this just helps me see my part better and just see like what I'm doing better. I can visualize the style and see how everything is going to look. So it's always best to go in and like hot comb everything before moving on, because you want to make sure like, okay, I like where my part is right here. Sometimes if you don't hot comb everything into place before you move on, it'll look crazy. So that's why I just made sure like, okay, I like this. So now I'm just basically going to do this exact same thing on the other side. Make sure my part is exactly where it is, or exactly where I want it to be. And then I'm going to apply my wax stick and just hot comb everything down. So the type of half up, half down I'm doing is I am leaving like some hair out on the sides. So I'm not like doing like a full half up, half down, but you can pretty much see the vision of what I'm doing, because I don't really know how to explain it, but you can see it. So yeah. And like I said, then this is where I'm going to take that Care wax stick, and just apply that all over that section right there. And then I'm going to go in and just hot comb that down. I always like to clip hair before I hot comb because I hate for stuff to be in my way. And I want to make sure that I'm hot combing what needs to be hot combed. So, like, as you guys can see, I'm a very perfectionist and I like for stuff to be very, very neat. But I don't even think this has anything to do with being neat. It's just, this is just a person who just knows what they're doing. Yeah. So, or a person who don't know what they're doing. You definitely need to clip stuff out of the way to see, like, okay, let's see what I'm doing. So today I'm using the shade 11 to define my parts. It's a shade lighter than 12, which is what we usually use. But I just think that the 11 looks so much more realistic. It's not too light and it's not too dark. The 12 is fine, but for some reason, it's just not giving what I needed to give anymore. So we're moving on to shade 11. And plus, it's getting colder. So, you know, our complexions change. It gets lighter. So, yeah. But anyway, I only use that shade. I'm only using that shade for my parts, not my actual shade that I'm using on my actual lace, okay? So now I'm parting out my parts for my baby hair. And as you can see, I kind of just went straight down to make those parts. And it's kind of hard to explain, but I'm sure you pretty much saw what I did. And then I just plait that up again to keep everything out the way. Then I took my wax stick and now I'm going to take my my hot comb, and I'm going to hot comb everything back because once again, I need everything to be going in the direction I need it to go because I need to see what I'm doing. I need to see how everything is going to look. So just kind of getting everything prepared and very, very clear so I can see what is given before it even gives, okay? So, yeah, that's what we're doing here. Now we're getting ready to prepare for our second melt. So we're going to clip our hair up again because we don't want our hair to be getting all tied up. And then we're going to take that same melting spray and tap that into our lace. So, yes, if you want your lace to be melted, do 2 melts with the spray. I guess the first melt counts as a melt, but it's without the spray. But yeah, so you're going to do the same thing again. Make sure you blow dry it and make sure that that melting spray is dry before you put your melting band on again. Please do not make that mistake and put that band on after you put the spray on immediately after because you're going to mess it up. I'm telling you here. I'm telling you right now. Do not do that, okay? So now we taking our melt band off after sitting for about 10 minutes. You don't really have to sit up on the dryer. You can, or it really don't matter, but just let it melt, okay? And then now I'm just combing out those braids or baby hairs or whatever you want to call it. And then once I get done combing everything out, then I'm just going to pretty much take my tweezers and I'm going to pluck some of the hairs out because I don't like for my baby hairs to be too thick, but not even that. Like, you see how the front is a little bit more thin and then towards the middle and the back is thicker? I just think that looks crazy. So for it all to kind of like blend in together and look unified, I go in and pluck so that the whole baby hair can kind of like match. So yeah, I don't like for it to look like too crazy or anything like that. So I just go in and just pluck some of that hair out. And that's something that you can also do if you feel like your baby hairs are too thick. Whenever you part it out, you can just always go in and pluck some of the hairs out. So once you get done hot combing the hair, then you're going to go in with those scissors and just cut those. I like to leave mine kind of long because you can always go back in and cut extra hair off even after you do the baby hairs. But once you cut them too short, that's it. You can't just grow hair on them immediately, like, or ever. So I like to leave mine a little long to give myself some room to like play with them and really get them to look how I want them to look. So that's an extra tip is do not cut your baby hairs too short because there's always room for you to go back and correct them after you're done with them. But yeah, so This time I'm using the bedhead spray again, y'all. I've been practicing lately with this spray to do my baby hairs. And I guess, yeah, like they say, practice makes perfect. I wouldn't say perfect, but the first time I did use this for my baby hairs, it did get really, really sticky, which it still is. But I've learned kind of how to maneuver, and I'm realizing that you just kind of got to work a little bit faster because it does dry really, really fast, and it will get sticky if you are using the bed head spray to do your baby hairs. Normally, if you've been watching me for some time, you know that I like to use foam or mousse or whatever you like to call it to do my baby hairs. But I just been finding this a lot easier to do it on myself this way and not take so much time. And I think that, if you're home watching this and you're trying to do your own hair, that this will probably be much easier too, because a lot of people just really don't know how to work foam that well when doing their baby hairs, because if they don't move quick enough, their lace will come up. So I think it's better to just show doing it this way. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to ever use foam again, because I definitely am, because I really am a soft baby hair type of girl. And yeah, I feel like foam really gives that. So, but anyway, y'all see where it's kind of like thicker right there at the end? I didn't like that. So now I'm going in with my tweezers and I'm kind of just plucking some of those hairs out to make it look more uniformed and all the same. It just looked weird to me. So I plucked some of the hairs out, and then I'm going to go back in and brush them down again. Just pretty much do the same thing you just saw me doing. So just getting it back right. And yeah. So I'm really, really particular about how my baby hairs be looking. And I feel like it'd be harder for me to do my baby hairs on myself, because I can't really like see that well in the mirror or turn my head a certain way. I don't know. My vision of me seeing my own hair is just different from when I'm doing other people's hair. So my baby hairs never come out the exact way I want them to look, but I'm doing the best I can, okay? But if y'all follow my Instagram and my TikTok, y'all see my work on other people. But anyway, so yeah, I just did the same exact steps on the other side, and you just really use that finger. I use my pinky to lay it down and then swoop. It's just that simple, okay? So now that we have our baby hairs done, I'm going to take my carrot care and just put that all over the middle section, and I'm going to hot comb that in because I want my ponytail to look very, very sleek. And the good thing is this is curly hair, so if I want to do another style, which I am going to do in this video, I could just put water on it and it'll be fixed. Okay, so that's the good thing about having curly hair, is that you can just put water on it and it can just go back curly. So I did use some of that bed spray, and then I took my edge brush, and I'm really just using that to really like mold and lay my hair down and get it really, really sleek and in place, because yeah, I feel like with the small brush you really have full control over, how you want your ponytail to lay, and to really just get it to look neat and as perfect as you can get it. So then we're going to take our rubber band, and we're just going to keep tying that until you can get it to be as tight as you want it to be. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Ponytails are not my strong suit. Like, I just suck so bad when it comes to doing a ponytail. But luckily, it only took me 2 tries to do my ponytail, which is kind of good because usually it takes me about 5. So I was like, oh, wow. I did pretty good, because normally it takes me 1,000 tries to do a simple ponytail. So I then got the ponytail. Now, y'all, I am a puffy curly hair lover. I love puffy hair. I really don't like the wet look, but I'm going to do it because I know there may be somebody watching that just wants to see how it looks curly. But for me, I like the exotic puffy look. Like, that just gives to me. I don't know why, but yeah, I like for my hair to look extra fluffy, and yeah. So then you're going to take a small piece of hair and you're going to just keep spraying it, and you're going to comb it out and wrap it around. Use your fingers to like smooth that piece, and you're just going to keep wrapping it around all the way until you pretty much get to the end. And then once you get all the way to the end, I just spray some more on there, and then I take my blow dryer and just really smooth that in and make sure like it's completely dry so that it doesn't move. Okay, so it's really just that simple. And so all you gotta do is just blow dry it in and smooth it around, and it will move. So this is how it turned out. Okay, so this is pretty much the style, and this is how it would look if it was puffy or you didn't put any water on it, which is how I preferably would like for my hair to look. But like I said, we're gonna go in and still wet it. Y'all, have to feel myself a little bit because I'm like, dang, I know I gotta wet this hair, but whatever. So again, this is a fuller view so you can see exactly how it's gonna look or how it looks. Okay, again, y'all, this wig is 250% density, so it is very full and very thick, which I love. Like, I would literally go out just like this. So as you can see, I've drowned it in water and conditioner. And you can also put, another good tip is when you saturate your hair, your curly hair, always go in with like a serum after that, because that really just like locks in the shine and the gloss on the hair, and it doesn't make it look like so dry. So even if I was to keep it like puffy looking, I still would like go in with the serum on it just to keep it from looking like extra dry. And y'all, all I did was put water and conditioner on the hair. So yeah, you can do leave-in conditioner or regular conditioner, it doesn't matter. But please keep in mind that if you do just water, it's going to puff back up immediately. So after I went in and used my diffuser on the blow dryer, because again, y'all, I wasn't going to let it just be looking drenched down. I still needed that somewhat puffy look, and I wanted my curls to be like fluffed out. But this is what it looked like after I wet the hair and went in and diffused it with the blow dryer. So it's really giving, y'all. Like, I really like this style. It really looks neat and just well put together. Like, I love this. It just feels so good to see myself in some other type of style other than a middle part and a side part. Like, I am so tired of those styles. I'm not gonna lie. So again, here's a fuller version, you guys, so you can see what the hair looks like. It's very full. Curls are very fluffy. It's just giving what it needs to give. And the lace is doing what it's supposed to do. The baby hairs are doing what it's supposed to do. And here is where we do a change of style, okay? So if you're like, okay, well, I'm not really a half up, half down girly. I don't like my forehead, blah, 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 which y'all always be saying. Like, listen, the hate relationship that us girls have with our forehead, we have got to learn how to embrace it, okay? Because we all know that pretty girls have big foreheads. So just let it show. But I'm going to cover it up just because. So now we're going to recreate this hairstyle and turn it into a deep side part. So I can just leave my part that I already have on this other side, because this is my good side. And I'm just going to hot comb everything over to the, which way it is? To the right. Because I have my left side out. And yeah, I'm just going to hot comb all of that over, and then I'm going to go in and saturate the hair. And it really is just that simple. Like, I don't even care what I'm doing to the other side for real, but all I got to do is just hot comb everything over. It's just that simple. You guys, if you don't have a hot comb and you're wearing wigs and stuff like that, you probably don't need to be wearing no wigs. You definitely need a hot comb in your hot tool collection, okay? You need a hot comb. Seriously, guys. So if you don't have that in your cart, please make sure you add it. And then I just go in and saturate the hair really good. And then I do the same thing that I did after I saturated the hair the first time, and I diffused it to get it back like puffy looking. And yeah, just keep doing it until you like get the look you want. So you can pretty much stop diffusing it whenever you get ready, because after a few minutes go by or whatever, it's still going to like dry up and get puffy on its own anyway. But to really like bring more bounciness to it and just really to get it fluffed out, especially if you like need somewhere to go quickly, a diffuser is a good thing to have. And this is pretty much how it turns out. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love this wig. Definitely a 10 out of 10. I love me a good thick and curly wig, y'all. So I will be leaving all of the details of this wig in the description box below. So make sure you click the link and get this wig, and I will see you guys next time.